Alrighty then, divers, it's Tuesday, and that means we've got a brand new update to cover. Changes have indeed been made to the game, some published, some not, leading to some anger within the community. We also need to talk about a development with Sony that could spell relief for all those countries and regions currently locked out of the game. We've also got a Terminid check-in and new info finally being dropped into the galactic map, and a whole lot more. Thanks for checking out the video. If you want to support the channel, please hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive all my future upload alerts. And let's get stuck into all the latest from Helldivers. Okay, within the current major order, we've had some overnight developments, and with a little under 2 days time to knock this one out, the bugs are again on the move. This time, launching a dual attack from Heath on both Cirrus and Angel's Venture. Now at this point, Cirrus looks to be a lost cause, partially due to the low divers currently planetside, and also due to the fact that it's a level 14 defense. Angel's Venture is shaping up to be our 4th out of 5 successful defensive campaigns, and victory there is projected in about 2 hours' time. But the real story here is Heath, with the team at Arrowhead finally adding in a dispatch about Gambits, stating that liberating Heath would end the current Terminid attack upon both Cirrus and Angel's Venture. Now, I would still like to see some iconography added onto the galactic map, like a chess piece, say the king or the queen, so it would attract some more eyes to it, but at a 2% average decay rate. If we could still get a mass amount of divers over there, we could take the planet and finish up both the current defenses at once. And for those of you still interested, today's daily or personal order is to kill 4 Bile Titans, which, based on what I was seeing last night joining into random parties, should not be a problem getting these things to spawn in because they were simply everywhere. And I absolutely loved it. Anyways, finish them off and net yourself 15 medals in the process. Now, of course, we've been tracking the back-end changes made to the game, and there has been a metric crap ton of them, leading us up to today and patch 1.002.005, which, to be honest, was not what we were hoping for in terms of scope of improvements. Nevertheless, this latest patch did address one of the main and persistent issues within the game, and that it has fixed an issue with jitter when aiming through scopes. And it was so bad there ever since Omens of Tyranny went live, possibly before then, I forget, that I know a lot of you started aiming only in third-person mode and absolutely avoiding ADSing if possible because of that horrible jittering and frame skips. Now, I haven't had time this morning to log in and verify it is 100% gone or only slightly improved, but would appreciate some feedback from you, my viewers, as to how well this fix is looking. Drop me a comment and also let me know what platform you were on when you tested it out. Also in the latest update, we've got 2 crash and soft lock fixes. One for Illuminate ships despawning, and considering the squid are our new favorite pastime, it was super important for Arrowhead to get that one sorted. Now, there was also a fix for potential crashes when players quit the game, and I've seen this one a lot on PC, sometimes leading to my entire PC locking up and requiring a task manager kill just to get the damn game closed down. Now, if anyone at Arrowhead is watching this video, please add to the list issues with alt-tabbing, which used to work fine but now doesn't. And it also causes the game to freeze and crash. I have to do this a lot when I'm dealing with jumping in and out of the game to handle Discord and invite players in. And if I have my recording software active, I know that's a guaranteed crash, and it didn't used to be. And finally, there was a niche issue handled for when you picked someone else's Wasp launcher up and it was not targeting properly, and some various fixes for disconnections and Illuminate missions. Now, I know stability has been a hot topic in the community, well, since the game launched, but hopefully 2025 is the year Arrowhead gets a firm grip on what is breaking their game. We all know that making games is super complex, and when you add anything into the mix, it's going to alter and break other items, but it would be great to get new content and updates without the weeks, even months of troubleshooting to finally get it all sorted. One area that has certainly ignited a firestorm over in the Helldiver Discord was that there was apparently an unpublished PS5 Pro update some time ago. Yeah, who knew, right? Community manager Baskinator chimed in with this morning. Quote, "We released a small upgrade for PS5 Pro users that changed performance mode from 1080p to 1440p, and quality mode is now native 4K. Now, full disclosure on this topic, I completely main a PC, so I have no idea if this is or is not a part of the PS5 Pro mechanics. So what happens next is something I simply cannot add any context to, but this community member immediately started pushing back on Baskinator's announcement, saying, what's going on is the update isn't working. It was never announced. It doesn't exist. Show me 1440p on performance mode on PS5 Pro. And from there, this one turned into a redirect to submit a support ticket, etc., etc. Again, I really don't have enough knowledge about the PS5 or the Pro version to really speak on the specifics of if this was indeed added to the game or if it was just so mild that it really didn't have any effect on the performance. But this one is really odd because you would think that something like an upgrade, especially for certain modes and to run at native 4K, would have at least garnered some sort of shout out in the Discord or possibly on social media, which is always happy to promote free graphical upgrades after launch, and here we have Arrowhead not feeling the need to say anything. I'll let you make the call on this one because on one hand, we've seen the studio make changes to the game in the past and never mention those in the patch notes, but this is a major topic, so I don't see why it was never announced. Leave me a comment about what you think of this one. I promised some Sony news, and this one was noticed and posted to Reddit concerning an upcoming Sony release called Lost Soul Aside, which has been seen removing the Sony PSN requirements from their Steam page. Now, I checked in on this, and you can see the backend change here from SteamDB showing removed third-party account PlayStation Network. Now, Sony has released no official statement on if they're finally coming to their senses and removing the needless restrictions on the over 170 countries and regions unable to create PSN accounts, but if this is indeed how they are moving forward, and if this change is permanent, could we be seeing them finally relent on Helldivers and their other single-player Steam releases? Now that would be awesome to see happen, and as always, I'll keep a close watch on Sony and Steam for any changes, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for any follow-up reports. Checking in on Reddit, and this post with over 10,000 upvotes caught my eye, and I'm going to leave a link to this one down in the video description. I recommend you check it out, but the title reads, "The big armored bug with the glowing butt? Yeah, their legs are actually the weak spot. No wonder so many people struggle at higher difficulty. What esoteric knowledge about this game do you think should actually be communicated to players? For me, it's the constellation system." And then their graphics go on to read, "Creating an extremely complex and engaging planet capture system, designing interesting weak points for enemies, and a detailed armor bullet penetration system, conveying literally any of this information to the player in game." Yeah. Let me know where you stand on this one by leaving me a comment. For me, it would have to be the durable damage and armor pen system used in the game, which is shown and explained literally nowhere. You either shoot at something until either it or you dies, or you turn to third-party sites like the Helldivers wiki or Reddit to actually learn what is going on in game. And finally, checking in on some viewer comments from my last video, I wanted to highlight these three, starting off with this one from Imaginative Corndog. Imaginative name there, by the way. And they say, if Arrowhead wants to spice up the loadout meta and team play, they could try implementing a couple of weapon straps, listen to this, that override the primary weapon slot with either dual wielding your secondary weapon or carrying a second support weapon. They could be called the Super Holster and the Super Sling. And I actually commented on this one. I loved Akimbo and the Akimbo perk back in Call of Duty. I would totally be down to rock simultaneous either support weapons or secondary weapons or even primary weapons. I think that would be really interesting to try out. Here's one from Tan Mr. Man, who says, "The biggest thing I want, which I think should be easy, is to have the stats of the support weapons somewhere to see." And I think that goes hand in hand with that Reddit post I just showed everyone. There's so much information in this game that's baked into the game that makes it interesting that we simply have no access to. Seeing support weapon stats is one of them. And finally, here's one that I know a lot of you have been asking for. This one's from P. Henry, who says, a gun range on Mars would be cool. I really do want to test out weapons and strats before I dive onto a planet. And I think we've reached a great place to press pause for today. Remember to leave me any feedback you have about Helldivers, and I will of course do my best to respond. Also, remember to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on my latest uploads. All my socials, including links to today's sources, can be found in the video description below. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.